Hi, chat. One moment. Hi there. Why, hello there. Now you can perhaps hear me. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see you. Oh, something went wrong. Oh, you won't let me watch the game while I'm working? Maybe give that a try in a moment. That was maybe why I was a moment or two late starting. I was trying to get that particular sports event that is occurring today on screen for myself, but not for any of you. I don't want to get any legal troubles. Please don't sue me. Yeah, don't want any of those sort of troubles. But apparently, I'm supposed to be able to view this, which I don't remember. Maybe I have in the past. I definitely have in the past. Yeah, I definitely have in the past. Let's see if I can refresh this and if it'll actually work now. I'm obviously very prepared for stream tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Anything new? Anything interesting? Okay. I guess we'll go there. You are muted though, Tab, right? Yes. Physically telling me you're muted. You better be muted. Because I really don't care about this game. I don't want to get into trouble for it. Hi there. Pan back here heating up. Let's get this one drying off too. Coffee. Well, let's see there. Hello, Alex. Welcome in. Hi, they can see me. Welcome in, Master of Splits. Hello, Alex. Hello, JK. Hello, Soph. Hello, Miminik. This working over here? Nope. Why are you acting like everything died? Let's see if that works here in a little bit. Well, it's typical football game. So far, I've seen nothing but ads. I don't know if I'm being pre-rolled ads to view the stream like this is a Twitch stream, or if it's just actually in an ad break. What was I doing to the bowl? I was cleaning it with my scrub. I was using soap and using a brush with soap, which is my general purpose cleaning tool. Scrubbies both go bad too quickly and like they don't last. I am going to do this as well, just to make sure that we don't get this scene coming on when I turn around. Yeah. I think it doesn't have the angle to see this side of my computer anyways, but we're really going to make sure that it doesn't. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. You've been watching the Olympics? I have not seen much of the Olympics. I saw a little bit of curling. Which oddly, like, I get interested in curling every Winter Olympics, even though I don't really like any other time of the year, any other year. Oh, that was a double pour of coffee there. I very obviously had too much coffee ground. Let's test some things. Well, that works. Alex. That actually, like, I might travel to go to a bar like that. Then again, pretty sure there's a axe throwing bar up in Mendocino that I haven't been to. You saw how atrocious Lululemon made Team Canada's opening ceremony outfits yet again? Oh. That rings of spandex. I don't know, I have not seen. Yeah, I'm sort of confused by who's making the outfits really matters. Is there some percentage of chat here that's going to go out and buy these outfits? Hat $300. Yeah. I really don't know the math there, but I have to wonder if that's really the best plan, pricing it that high. Like, how many would they sell if it was 30? Like, it doesn't cost them 30 to make. I doubt. Logos and stuff these days are probably all machine stitched, regardless of the notoriety. I think I went a day or close to a day without feeding the hummingbird feeder, and I think they all disappeared for winter. Even though I really sort of have hummingbirds year round here. I'm just happy I haven't seen any of those orange ones. The majority of them out here, I believe, are ruby hummingbirds, which, from my perspective here, they may not like to feed at the same time, but they're okay with sharing the feeder. The orange ones, they're just jerks. They just sit there and sit on it and get everyone to go away. I think the majority of ads I've seen so far have also been ads for the halftime. I don't understand media today. I should just give up. Like, I'm here streaming and recording things because I like recording them and want the info. Hi, how you doing? Greatly appreciate all of you joining me tonight. Cheers. They look like they were wearing giant quilted Tim Hortons cups, which apparently was a vest. Was it like the I forget what they call them. The sleeves that they sell, like the hand protection sleeves that go over the cups. Which, by the way, just buy the better cups. Like, I didn't do that when I was doing my business. But looking back on things, and that if you're in coffee, just buy the insulated cup. Like, buy the paper insulated cups, but just buy the insulated cups. Like, don't waste time with the second thing. You're not going to save enough. People waste them. People use them for stupid things like propping up tables and... I get to the end of a market day and someone will have used them to prop up someone else's folding table. How'd the lasagna turn out, Timmy? Welcome in. Let's see here. What do I do first for tonight's plans? Trying to remember what all my plans are for tonight. Oh, I definitely need to defrost that. We need to defrost some salmon. That'll be good. Where do we go from here? Got that going. Let's get into doing the other two. We got to get our chicken marinating. I'm only going to use a couple of these thighs tonight. Since we're doing two types of wontons. There's one bone chip. I'm going to be doing teriyaki wontons. But we're obviously making the teriyaki from scratch. I'm also going to be doing beef tip wontons. Because New England is known for beef tips. Seattle, if you aren't familiar, it's pretty well known for actually teriyaki. So we got the two different types of competing wontons for tonight. And then I'm sort of mashing up the two sides for the appetizer. And so the appetizer is going to be Pacific salmon mixed with Ritz crackers and some other loveliness. Old Bay and Ritz crackers to give us the Eastern influence. And then I'm going to smoke them. I'm going to coat them in panko and fry them. No, it's not running out of ideas. It's typically 101 easy, things that everyone else is doing, trying to think of something unique. Try and do things specific to this football game. They left like a whole section. There that should have been removed and mechanically stripped, processed. Should have been turned into pink slime. Ew. So we're going to coat these. Marinade. Oh, I certainly have. I'm not 100% with the current school food menu is. I would not be shocked if the average U.S. student before they leave school has had food served to them that had pink slime, made from pink slime. I don't think people realize how sophisticated they get with some of these manufactured products in order to make them cheaper. There's quite seriously patties out there in the chicken world that are combinations of chicken floss, which is thin strands of chicken, but sort of like the fiber that gives you that impression that it's actually chicken, mixed with pink slime, and then just formed into a perfect shaped patty so they can get perfect sizing, perfect shape, perfect uniform. They did that with chicken tenders. They do that with all sorts of things, and they still do chicken slime. They're just pink slime. They're just, yeah. I should also clarify, to me, pink slime is chicken or other meats that have been ground fine enough with thinner, less offensive bones mixed into them, almost like straight up pureed and then strained. It is not necessarily the ones that have gone that second step of being blasted with ammonia gas, which sounds lovely. It sounds tasty. But that's a whole nother level of disgusting to me. What else can I throw at these? Don't want to use any of those. We can definitely throw a little oil in there. Wishing I had that local teriyaki sauce from here in Sonoma County that just got sold for $800 million. Alright, we'll set these off to the side. Hang out for a bit. I'm out of wipes. Alcohol wipes. Although for some reason they all seem to be marketed by bleach companies. Probably so that people don't try and drink the liquid in them, which would be ugh. But addicts will I thought she was out. I mean, I know she was airlifted out of the place, but I thought she was out. Like, she seems to have made a legacy of not doing very well. Which is really sad, but she won her way there. Okay. So we got our chicken marinating. Let's moisten some Ritz crackers. Or crush and then moisten. Well, that got my attention. They have some teenager with Shockwave make this commercial. I have no idea if we all get served the same commercials these days, or I know it used to be at least a percentage of them were regional, percentage of them were... Taking ballpark half of these Ritz crackers that I ground up. Add dairy to those. Nowadays, it's easy to serve people. Well, I guess it's always been easy to serve people different ads, considering it was fed to your regional outlets, and the outlets then overlaid their ads on top of things. But nowadays, they probably have regional to your neighborhood. Oh, hey. Maybe I should switch over to the board here at some point. Actually see what I'm doing here tonight. We'll go ahead and add in a whole bunch of Old Bay right now, too. Just to be safe that we're adding a lot of Old Bay into this project. But like I said, I'm sort of cheating, or actually did I get into that? I'm sort of cheating with the beef tips. Actually, I'm really sort of cheating with the beef tips in that I bought pre-made, pre-cooked beef tips that I'm just going to put directly into wontons. So this, if you're unfamiliar, I didn't want to show the entire package or market it or sell it to anyone, but at least my Safeway and most other major supermarkets out there have this like decent section in their, almost in their meat area or directly in their meat area of vacuum packed, essentially sous vide products that are just microwave and use. And this is one of those. So I'm just going to take a piece of beef with whatever gelled liquid comes with it. We're going to seal it into a wonton. Rinse and repeat. Oh, for those that are just tuning in to my stream, I'm also watching. It's right there. I can see the two people talking right now. Well, at least in my peripheral, and now we're back to sidelines. Go Sports. What I'm using here is a pre-made beef tip mixture. Quite delicious. One of those, I was saying it earlier, you can find them in the supermarkets near the meat section or in the meat section, and they're just different vacuum packed or immersion circulated or sous vide, or I assume they would probably rather say, I forget the industry term for it, for low atmosphere controlled cooking. Like, sous vide is essentially what it is, but there's a commercial term for it too on top of sous vide. Yeah, maybe I should have gone Puerto Rican with the foods tonight. That seems to be the major theme of the night. There seems to be more news about halftime than the game. More ads for it, too. Immersion circulator. It is the tool that you use to heat the water when you sous vide cook something. The little machine that keeps the water bath at a precision temperature is an immersion circulator. That is a key sous vide term, but it was not the one that I was referring to. The industry term is more like referencing pasteurization or something like that. I'm eating these, so I'm not caring about it, my fingers having been licked. Disclaimer. They're getting fried, so if it was family or something, I probably wouldn't be worried about it either, but wouldn't do that in a restaurant and be like, it's just getting cooked, chef. No. Folding over in areas where it got really close on whether it was actually going to seal or not, and just moving on. How you doing tonight, Splits? What's new? What's happening? By the way, Splits, if you're still hanging out here, I have discovered since our chats before that, yeah, apparently there is the American buffet equivalent of bento boxes. And that there are ones that are like just ridiculous layered fried food on fried food on fried food with rice and beans and a plum too. Ran out of wrappers. Let's get some more. Both want to use up the wrappers and the beef. I don't have plans to eat this separately. Dope. Chat spent too long. Oh. I thought it had timed out. I was going to say chat spent too much time mulling that one over. But I see now that Soph just sniped everyone. I still haven't seen or paid much attention to stream tonight to tell if anything I tried to fix is working tonight. I did see that the mute command is now working, so that API is going through properly. Actually, let me see. That means turning off the game we have going there, but yeah, I have no idea if the bot is actually telling if things are online or not tonight. These things, they got the flavor down pretty well. Most of these are pretty good. The meat, the actual quality of what meat they're using. But as far as flavor and all that, and them actually using meat, like there is a decent amount of actual meat there. I found actually a fair number of these, actually, the pork ones, this one's beef, but a fair number of the pork ones are hock meat. They've got great flavor. And also, to repeat myself, making these for myself, so me eating these while I'm making these, or me licking my fingers while I'm making these, while not perfectly sanitary, deal with it. I ain't selling them. I ain't giving them away. I'm eating them. Of course, these are also sold as beef tips. They are not sold as steak tips. So in other words, they're just using pieces of meat this is quite possibly or quite likely made of some form of like stew meat. Because they can cook it forever, it's not a big deal. The price to cook it for longer versus paying more for the fancier cuts. Oh, is it that time? Is that why everyone's getting quiet? It's Puerto Rico time. Yeah. That's a piece of cartilage. I'm going to get rid of that. Otherwise, this has been pretty good. Pretty well cooked through. But as I said before, it's beef stew masquerading as beef tips or steak tips. If I was adventurous, I could have set up the earbuds to hear our guest singers. But I didn't set that up. I waited until about 5 minutes before stream to look up if there was even a way for me to easily watch it for free online. Legally. I wouldn't want to be trying to fight the YouTube algorithm tonight. Imagine the amount of people trying to get people to think they're streaming this game, whether they are or not. I need some of these for chicken. But if you're looking for an easy project to do or to keep kids busy on odd day, I have done zero cooking so far as this beef, and I'm making wontons. It's the advertising Black Friday of the year. All of the yearly new ads come out today. Or for today. Now, these are the insurance ads you're going to see for the next year. These last two are almost entirely sauce. This last one here. While at the same time stretching it out, so like, and it's something that you can freeze and leave in the freezer for a month and not be concerned. Alright, we're going to set these aside for a little bit. Wipe off the cutting board. They just turned that football field into a sugar plantation with utility poles. Those utility poles remind me a little bit, well, it's Puerto Rico. I get impressions, I mentally sort of confuse Cuba and Puerto Rico at times. And the infrastructure in Cuba, I imagine, is not nearly what it is in Puerto Rico, despite both of them regularly getting hammered by hurricanes. I'm debating whether I do salmon or chicken next. I think we're gonna go salmon. I think it's salmon time. We can just use that same bowl. Yep, we got beef, salmon, and chicken tonight, Soph. Doing competing beef and chicken wontons. And then the salmon we're turning into cakes. Bi-coastal. We're representing both sides of this fight tonight. we have our Pacific salmon, which is going to get mixed with Old Bay and Ritz for New England. And the plan was to smoke these, but I'm sort of second guessing if I want to bother with that step. I don't think I've ever tried filleting a salmon sideways. I have no idea if this is going to work well or it would be a disaster. Nope, let's just try it the normal way. They're getting there. It's a bit harder with a smaller piece, a portioned piece. Here, I'll create a beat now that the music's over. How many people just turned off their TVs? Or tuned them into something else? Rather than use a knife, we're gonna rather than use my fingers to flake it, I'm gonna use the back of my knife. And bones in these fish are completely flexible, so even though I took these out, these are not bothering me level of fish bones. Most fish bones bother me, and it irritated me no end when traveling that, like, everywhere I went, fish bones in the fish. Alright, so we got salmon. We've got our Old Bay seasoned breadcrumbs, or Ritz cracker crumbs, that have been hydrated in dairy. I don't really want to leave any clumps of... I want it to be more like a glue than lumpy at all with what's there with the Ritz. Mincing up a little onion here. That's fine enough. Now there's a scramble. What was I in here for? That's what I was in here for. Green pepper. You know, FIFA, that totally non-political, purely sports entity. Been watching a bit more snooker lately, or older clips of snooker, because the announcer recently that I most associate with snooker recently passed away. And really sort of just put off by the fact that so many of these are now like the Saudi this, the Saudi that. They're buying all of the sports. So we're adding green pepper and onion to our salmon. We're going to finish that with a bit of mayo. I'm debating if I want to add an egg yolk to this or not to stabilize it and to solidify it as it cooks. I think we're going without it, at least for now. See where we're at with this all mixed together. I do have more ritz blended up to mix in with this dry that we can do if it's too moist, which it is sort of looking that way right now. Add in a bit more crushed ritz. I've made crackers before. It's been a minute. I wish I would have done more with crackers. But they're pretty simple, but they're also sort of tricky to make at home. They're one of those recipes that are best tried and true, tested and done several times. And that's with your oven as well, because you have to have an even cooking oven, not one from 1970s. Combining the last of the ritz with the panko. Yeah, they're still not working. Are they at least giving me errors to work with tonight? No, it didn't even successfully do that. And Olama's still giving me issues, though I largely corrected that from the last stream. For the record, folks, those that are using the chocolate and bacon right now, it's not actually moving the numbers around. It's not recognized, the SprinkleBot's not recognizing that it's happening. The channel points are happening. So it's not giving anyone their check-in points. It's not giving anyone their... It's working for Scramble and a couple of other things, and it's properly awarding sprinkles for scrambles. But a good portion of all of the event stuff with Twitch, something is just wonky with my event sub. Nope. Enchiladas. No problem, Splits. I would have done this even without you prodding me. Or something along this line. We're done with that. Speaking of that, I'm now reminded that I didn't think to look up what Easter was this year, and that's not in the calendar, and I now have the Sunday state theme going. So, ooh, I see an AI ad. Yeah, I haven't even looked to pay attention what the score was. I noticed earlier what it was, but it's changed since then, I assume. I need more paper cures. I don't know why. They're always crushed on one end. Hold on to this for me. Welcome, Frothy. Green pepper going back in the fridge for future projects of unknown use. So we got our crab cakes done now, ready to fry. Nah, I'm not doing that tonight. That's a cleaning project. I guess we're not going very authentically teriyaki tonight. Because I'm not going to grill this now. Or even grill plate grill it. We're just pan searing the chicken now. Actually, other side. Oil in the pan. Cooking oil. You confused it, Frothy. Here, let me give you the points. You got that, obviously. It's the other way around. Yeah, it's not looking good for those Easterners. Have I been up to Seattle? Not for many, 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 many years. Like, before I lived here. Years. It's on my list of things to revisit. I do want to do like a trip up the North Coast sometime. Well, they can see me. That's just them pulling labor out of everything with food. Labor is going to be your top cost with all of this food. So, like, anything that they can mechanize, they're doing. Pour some more of this marinade back over the top of these. A little bit of sesame oil. I don't know if they still are, but several of the people that I knew from college live up in Seattle. Actually, quite a few these days. Well, I'm not keeping track on all of them, but quite a few of them have at least lived in Seattle since we were there. I haven't been there with any of them. Since we graduated, a fair number of them have headed to Seattle, whether they were visiting or not. Some even more have posted photos visiting, because I guess that's even more of a thing for chefs, I guess, to do the fish market. Have I been to New England? I am not sure that I have been to New England. I have not been to Boston, I've not been to Massachusetts, I've not been... Which is really sort of strange, because I've hit up most of the other states in that area. Alright, turning the heat off on that chicken now. Let's clean off the chicken board and reuse that. So you're saying that one sports dude is not going to be happy with some other sports stuff? Actually, I think it's sort of questionable if wrestling's actually a sport. It's entertainment. And for the record, I'm speaking of professional wrestling. High school wrestling is most certainly a thing. High school, collegiate, Olympic, different thing. You gotta see the horses every year for the football game. let these rest a bit before we chop them up and turn them into... Now this is feeling a little under still. This one's feeling fine. This one... That's feeling under. That's pretty close. We'll give it another second. Was that too hot of a hot take for chat? Or are we all... Are you all professional wrestling fans? Did I just... Decided in the last 5 minutes anyways. You just got back and you don't know what's happening? I put the chicken back on the stove because I wasn't happy with how cooked through this piece was. It just never really was, like, it wasn't like it was on TV for me as a kid. My parents didn't watch it or anything like that. Like, it was briefly a thing with, like, my class around, like, 3rd grade. But beyond that, I really had no drive or reason to be watching it as a kid. And I think it's something that's much more enjoyable as a kid. And I think it's approachable and more enjoyable as an adult when you have that child ingrained. You've been indoctrined. Okay, we're good with that. Japan Pro Wrestling. Did not know that was even a thing. I have sent all of you off to go watch sumo wrestling, which there is a Twitch sumo wrestling stream. I keep trying to put that tray back away, but I shouldn't be doing that because it's blocking the TV scene. Alright, chicken, we gotta chop these up and turn these in. We need to wontonify these. Trying to start a fire back here. Oops. It's like, smell something's off. Was something still cooking? Why is something still cooking? I'm not saying that either. Now I realize the sumo joke that you're responding to, but like most pro wrestlers are jacked. Like, don't get me wrong, but I guess I sort of think of sport and I think of something that is measurable and comparable, even if it's a... Well, I guess you can do that with wrestling too, so I'm finding excuses. Have I talked myself into calling it a sport? No. But I more can understand that people think it's a sport. And to be honest, I believe who is the belt holder is the best athlete about the same as I believe the top Formula One driver is the top driver. Let's not use that for that. Let's just... Combat theater. That's what I forgot. I needed another one of these. We're going through the half pans tonight. Frothy, does that mean you're an ICP fan, or? I don't know that I've ever heard an IPP song for sure. I probably have. I like Red Pop. It just tastes like red food coloring, but well, it's not. Tastes like coloring. Oh, hey, it looks like New England's doing better now. Not on a Sunday for the next year and a half, or year and a quarter. We're doing state-themed, state and U.S. territory-themed fitting tonight. We're doing territories and states. And that's going to take us into April or May of next year. Because it's more than 50. 52 weeks in a year. One or two of them missed for holidays alone. If I get channel points ever working again. I'm thinking, I've mentioned this before, but I think we're going to switch from doing weekly theme redemptions to a cheaper, though it may be still basically the same price, individual stream theme to go along with the state Sundays. State and territory Sundays. Going back to talking about snooker, snooker, if you look at the players and the sort of dominance by country of snooker, it's very much English sport, very much English controlled sport. But all of the new kids in the game are Chinese. Like, all of the new pros making waves are all young Chinese. I'm wondering if the era of Ronnies and Judd Trumps are to an end. What's everyone's favorite commercial so far tonight? I haven't paid enough attention to any of them really to... I barely even noticed what the commercials are, what companies are doing commercials. I think I've noticed one Gemini ad so far, and otherwise it's mostly been Bad Bunny stuff that I've noticed prior to halftime. Yeah, we got one wrapper left over. Going in the trash. Alright, so we got crab cake, or salmon cakes. We got our beef wontons. We got our teriyaki wontons. Air quotes on teriyaki because it isn't teriyaki. Next steps. We need aiolis. We need competing aiolis. We need something to dip these in. Please tell me we don't have anyone betting on this game. I'm gonna start my emulsion with sunflower because I think it does a much better job at thickening than olive. That said, who's winning money tonight? Because it sounded like no one wanted the Patriots to win the other night. I won't get into jokes about who's probably going to steal one this year. Just slowly adding more and more oil, getting thicker and thicker. No pull through mayos here. Giving myself an arm workout. I'm gonna switch over, do a little olive oil. Are you saying they got a sympathy touchdown? Lemon juice. Splash. We'll do more lemon juice than the New England style. Splash Tabasco. Oh, hey, it's Ferris Bueller. Bit more olive oil now that we've added a little flavoring. Back to thickening. I understand and realize that a truly authentic aioli would have been done in a mortar and pestle with a whole bunch of fresh garlic. Sorry. All right, let's look in the calendar and see what I actually had for these two different aiolis. Horseradish, you say, huh? I forgot to buy a horseradish, chat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything over there. Yeah, it's ginger. So I guess we're doing one aioli tonight. Or what ideas do we have for a second one? I think we're just gonna do a simple. Well, we'll do a garlic and sesame one, and we'll do which sort of not teriyaki, but teriyaki flavor neighborhood, and then we'll do Old Bay and lemon for the other. I just got aioli on my Stream Deck. All right, we're good with this. We're going to let this sit for the moment. Get rid of the egg. So we've got that nicely filled with oil. It doesn't mean that it's nicely seasoned at this point. I haven't added any seasoning to that aioli really at this point. Gonna do the salt and MSG together though. Salt, MSG, black pepper, Yep, it's aioli. So this is Old Bay. and lemon. So that is one of our dipping sauces. Now for number 2, garlic. Paprika. Sesame oil. And I just thought of this while I was here. Where did you go? Still a little ground ginger in this other one. So sesame, ginger, garlic, and paprika. And then Old Bay and lemon. Now we need frying oil. And we're going to take an AFK break here while the oil heats up. And turn the fan back to low. And turn the oven on to the lowest setting. Just to keep warm for all of our fried goodies. Oh, hush. It's not exhausting. I used to do it pretty often on stream, actually. And I've gotten a little lazier in recent years. I've started buying mayo more often. I really don't like commercial mayo, but I've been buying it more often. Partly to do with the cost of eggs going up. Or at least I'll use that as my excuse. Alright folks, we're going to take a couple minutes here. Do a quick AFK. Give us 5-10 minutes for that oil to heat up. We're only at about 100 degrees. We're going to get this up around 350-ish. To do our frying, we've got crab cakes, or salmon cakes, and 2 types of wontons to fry up. Those that haven't busted out of their seams. So I'll see all you back here in about 10 minutes.
Wow. Now, you gals think you're lucky you can get Swanson TV turkey dinners, but I say Swanson TV turkey dinners are a bigger break for husbands. Now, you take me. I can be early, I can be late, I can bring pals to dinner anytime I please, and get this, my wife never panics. She just takes Swanson TV turkey dinners from the freezing compartment of our refrigerator when I'm a little off schedule.
Oh, and right you are, Jack. And that is because Mary Lou knows that she can have a swell dinner ready in just 25 minutes.
Right.
And talk about easy. Well, she just pops Swanson TV turkey dinners in a hot oven. You know, they're oven ready in individual heat and serve trays. With Swanson TV turkey dinners, you just heat and you serve big and hearty slices of moist, tender Swanson turkey with grand giblet gravy and special cornbread dressing and fluffy whipped sweet potatoes with golden Swanson butter and garden fresh peas with more butter.
Mother Murphy, lucky me. My wife uses Swanson TV turkey dinners. And make your husband lucky, too. Get Swanson TV turkey dinners, Swanson TV fried chicken dinners, Swanson TV beef dinners from your grocer's big freezer.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
Here's the newest, most exciting sound in town. It's a General Electric blender that's going around. Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The non-skid base is the lowest you'll ever decanter has a 36-ounce blending capacity. The non-spill lid is really smart. For blending convenience, it comes apart. Add additional ingredients, if you will. Look, no splash, see no spill. Put them all together and you know it's true. The General Electric blender is best for you. If you want to know another reason why, it's only 10 1/2 inches high. Stores easily on the counter or on a shelf. There's 1,000 things you can make yourself. Make party spreads, great cabbage heads. Blend the meatloaf for a family of 8. Make ice-cold drinks you'll appreciate. Now's the time for you to buy the General Electric blender.
Did he say only 10 1/2 inches high?
Hello, may I come in? I am Chef Boyardee. Perhaps you have seen my picture on Chef Boyardee products at your grocer's. Today I want to tell you about a wonderful dinner for 3. A dinner that only costs about 15 cents a serving. It's my own Chef Boyardee spaghetti dinner with meat sauce or mushroom sauce. It all comes in 1 carton. A full ½ pound of tender, quick-cooking spaghetti, 10 full ounces of rich, tasty sauce, and to top it off, a whole can of zippy grated cheese. A wonderful food. So ask your grocer for Chef Boyardee spaghetti dinner with meat or mushroom sauce, won't you? And look for other Chef Boyardee's products. They're also delicious, they're also nourishing, and they help keep the cost of your meals down. Chef Boyardee's products are at best grocers.
Ask for Chef Boyardee's spaghetti dinner. Only about 15 cents a serving.
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee, roasted by a new secret process. Hence, this new none-such coffee has a different flavor, a flavor preserved by vacuum packing, the flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste. Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee pot. In every jar, you'll find 3 special pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee. Try new none-such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight big-as-life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music. Yes, they're all yours, merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric Black Daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
All right, I'm back. As is Seattle. All right. We're getting close on our oil temp. We're not quite there. Another 50 degrees or so till we get there. I put the aiolis in the refrigerator so that they stay nice and cool, and yeah. hopefully everyone got up and stretched and did all that sort of things to make your body seem like you're active. So feel free to sit back down and continue watching. Yeah, the bot didn't translate the ASCII text very well for the wiggle command. Oh, hey, you're back. That's nice. Welcome back. Happy to see you, GoPro. $285-ish. I made some wontons tonight. I also made some salmon cakes. I don't know if these are going to hold up or not. I think they're okay. They're going to be delicate either way, but... Oh, it was against offense. Okay. That made sense then. I was like, why'd he slide and then not leave the ball there for them to be confused about where exactly it landed? He slid with the ball and just all of a sudden started walking back to the line with the ball, and it's like, did not compute. We've now made it over 300. I'm going to give it a quick stir, which will cool it down, but even it out. Pan and parchment for our finished fried goods. Oh, that one's easy. Sun potato. Ooh, we're heating up quick here. We're up to 325 now. We're going to start off with the beef. I think the beef is going to be the most temperature stable. The chicken, I don't want to cook forever. And so they'll be second and go into the oven with beef. And then we'll do the salmon third. Those are our two basically liquid wontons. These last ones here with more liquid in them are considerably softer. One's frying like a broke. You lost all your guts, so you're getting tossed. Not straight into the fruit. So when I asked earlier, I didn't get any responses. What's everyone's favorite ad so far tonight? Oh, Sniper, I'm sorry. I wasn't being serious at all. I was absolutely being sarcastic with that guess. I'm sorry. Okay, so those were probably, or hopefully, the worst of them. These I think they're all going to come up much easier off of the pan. Hopefully. Oh, let's make sure we didn't lose all of our temp. 320. We'll give that another minute or two to do its thing. Lay's commercial with Sabrina Carpenter. Okay. I will typically go back through and watch some of the hit commercials because I don't watch a ton of TV and I probably won't see them the rest of the year. Thankfully. Oh, they got another one, huh? He says sort of ironically. Getting all that lovely stuff getting stuck in the oil. In with batch number 3. The last of our beef. Last of our New England wontons. I bet you didn't think New England had wontons, huh? These ones aren't as exciting because they're not leaking all their contents into the oil. These ones are actually sealed. These are the last of the... These are actually the first ones I did, but they're the best sealed bunch to date of the 3. And, for some reason, stayed dried the best. Didn't absorb and stick to the pan as much. Didn't... I'm giving these more than enough time, they're just not getting the color. They're starting to get there now, so I'm going with these. Alright, going to do fine salt over the top of these wontons we have out on the stove. And then they're all going down into the oven. Keep warm. How we doing temp-wise? We ready for our second batch of wontons here? 20 seconds more. Just like the game. Are they really trying for one more? Still? Alright, going in with our first of our chicken teriyaki wontons. Actually, we're doing all of these at once, I think. I don't know, we'll do 2 batches. 2 batches. Well, there you have it, folks. So just coming back from the game. We're working on frying still. We're on our second type of wontons. We're doing our first batch of teriyaki wontons, teriyaki chicken wontons. We've got our beef wontons cooked and down in hot hold oven. And we still got the salmons to fry. We're doing the salmons last though. Just to keep these separate, we'll go ahead and get another half hotel pan dirty for the finished ones. Which these are done now. Actually, paper chairs. Well, something, I'm not going to use parchment in here, but something a little absorbent. What temp we get down to? Oh, we're good. We're good. Second batch of chicken going in. Oh, everyone's hugging it out on the field. We get a Terry interview. Actually, I've been sort of a jerk tonight. I've been mocking all the sports I've been talking about tonight. It's a big fucking accomplishment. They deserve a bit of. Dude doesn't look like he even broke a sweat. I'm throwing these lovelies down into the oven now too. I have now cut the heat on the oven. Do I risk it? Do I just go straight in? Yep. Just want to make sure we're not stuck to the bottom at all, or the side. I don't really want to move it around a whole lot. Makes it more likely we might break it, but do want to cook it. Dipping your hand into oil, always a fun experience. Yep, definitely burnt tip of that finger. Dip that finger in the oil. I shall live. These are turning out gorgeous. I think these are, like, we're unfortunately having another dinner of brown, but I think it's going to be a royally delicious brown dinner. You see, all the brown is just me secretly wishing that, I don't know, the Browns or the Cubs or the Bears, I don't know why I said the Cubs, would pull it out. But nope. So we're going to cover up this nice foamy hot contaminated oil, and I'm going to have to try and figure out what I can put that in, because I don't really want to store that back with all the other veggie oil that hasn't been flavored like that. Let's put a platter together. It's a platter time. We have our battling aiolis. Our salmon cakes. I'm going to do that action. And then here on camera, you get this action. Filled with salmon and green pepper and onion. Looking yummy. And then it's wonton time. First we'll go for the chicken. And then beef. Also, I mentioned earlier, making the wontons, especially the beef ones, would be an easy home project or a fun project for the kids to do. Maybe while you're cooking at home, you can have them off on the dinner table making them. You also don't have to necessarily fry them like I did tonight. You can air fry these probably no problem. I haven't tested it, but that's my guess. Earbud's dying. It's been a 3.5 hour stream. We're just killing the earbud. And hopefully we haven't killed the audio along with it. Let's do a photo or two. Got photos of everything now. Got photos of it all. Hi, Suki. Welcome in. Hopefully you are well. And for those that are just joining in, we have our Old Bay and lemon dealio. And then we have, or no, that's, yeah. And then this is lemon no bay. This is sesame, garlic, and ginger. We have teriyaki style chicken, filled dumplings, or filled wontons. We have beef tip wontons. And we got a thick homemade aioli. Crispy. So unfortunately, I gotta repeat myself now. Well, that didn't work, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to repeat myself. So there is my Super Bowl dinner for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have all had a lovely time hanging out with me. I hope you had a lovely time hanging out. If you were watching the game, I don't know, it may have been a bad game for a couple of people. I shall be back here tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow I am going to be doing Marry Me Chicken with orzo, which could be done super quick baked style, but we're gonna break it down a bit more. Make a nice sun-dried tomato and dairy sauce and thicken that up nicely. We'll mix that with cooked orzo pasta. We'll sear up some chicken breasts. I hope you come back to join me for that. If not, we've got the ingredient challenge on Wednesday, which will decide the ingredient challenge tomorrow. It's a close vote between, I believe, ketchup and pesto. Yeah, ketchup and pesto. It's 6 versus 7. There's only a 1 vote difference in which one I have to do. Let's see who's out there in Twitch land. I don't anticipate it being hugely busy out there tonight. Well, I'm going to leave it there for now. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me tonight. I wish you the best to the finish of your weekend, and I wish you good luck for the start of your new week.